The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of a complete line of famous quality food products. It's a beautiful, crisp morning in Summerfield, the sort of morning that makes you want to get out in the nice, fresh air. The Great Gildersleeve is taking advantage of the weather to pursue a favorite hobby. While down the hall, right next door to the great man himself, in the room of his niece Marjorie,
what a beautiful way to start the day, with Larry Lake's lovely voice singing to me.
As if nothing mattered, you battered and shattered a heart so true.
it takes just about 10 seconds of this to get through to our sleeping beauty and...
What's food? What? Who's playing that confounded radio? How can anybody sleep with that? No consideration at all around this house. Like trying to sleep inside of a jute mill, jukebox. Why can't she keep that confounded thing turned down? Marjorie?
Yes, come in. Good morning, Uncle Mort.
What's the idea of blasting this radio so loud? Good morning. People are trying to sleep around this house. Or I was, at least.
Well, I'm sorry, Uncle Mort, but if I don't turn it loud, how can I hear Larry Lad when I take my shower? After all...
Hear who?
Larry Lake, naturally. Who else is there? Oh, listen to him, Uncle Mort. Doesn't that voice do things to you?
Yes, it does. It wakes me up. Now keep it low.
Oh, Larry. Listen, Uncle Mort, listen. Oh, honestly, how wonderful can you be?
Oh, Pass the sugar, Leroy, please.
Sure, I'll here.
And stop gulping your eggs. Now watch those bites. You'll strangle yourself.
On scrambled eggs? Gee, Uncle don't even need teeth to eat scrambled eggs. Little bitty babies can eat scrambled.
Chew 'em.
Okay.
I cooked some more bacon, Mr. Gildersleeve. Before you reach for it, though...
Don't grab, Leroy. For heaven's sake, I'll pass it to you.
Before you pick it up...
Just a minute, Bertie. What's happened to your manners all at once, my boy? Anyone would think you were starving.
I am.
Well, stop acting like it. I'll pass you the bacon as soon as I help myself. Oh, the plate's hot.
I was trying to tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve. You help yourself, and I'll put on some more for Miss Marjorie.
Marjorie? Hasn't she come downstairs yet? Doggone it, she knows what time we have breakfast around here, doesn't she?
She should, sir. She's been eating with us for quite some time now.
If she wants to keep on eating with us, she better get down here.
I expect she got delayed with that radio, Mr. Gildersleeve. There's a singer on there that she's real fond of.
Yes, I heard him this morning. Oh, there you are, young lady.
Good morning, everybody. Leroy, unplug the toaster quick. Huh? Oh, never mind. I'll do it myself.
Here. What's all the excitement?
I want to plug in my little radio before it gets cold. Oh, isn't he just simply...
Marjorie, I've told you never to bring that radio to the...
Please, Uncle Mort, just a minute.
Marjorie, turn that darn thing...
Listen, Leroy, let's do him take this note.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Isn't he wonderful, Uncle Mort? Oh, how perfect can you be?
Turn that radio off this instant.
All right, Uncle Mort, it's off. You don't have to yell at me after all.
Eat your breakfast. Great Scott, where did this sudden craze for this crooner come from all at once anyway? Who is he, for Pete's sake? I've never even heard of him.
You never heard of Larry Lake? Oh, Uncle Mort, really? I mean, honestly, how square can you be?
Square?
He's just the greatest thing in radio, that's all.
Well, he's
only going to take the place of Frank Sinatra, that's all.
Well, that won't upset me too much. Those fellows all sound about alike anyway.
I don't know how you can say such a thing, Uncle Mort. After all, you're supposed to know a little about singing, and
I know quite a bit about singing, young lady.
Sure he does. You know what Mrs. Bullard said, Unc? She said when you sing the Road to Mandalay, it's really something.
Oh, she did, eh, Leroy? Mrs. Bullard said that?
Honest, she did. She didn't say what it was. She just said it was something.
Well, Mandalay is one of my favorites, of course. There's a song with some meaning, some feeling in it. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. A little different from the sort of things your crooner sings, my dear.
Oh, if you'd ever hear Larry, lad, but really hear him, Uncle Mort, you'd be gone, but gone. His voice just makes you all goose-pimply inside.
Oh, he sounds like he's gargling.
Make him stop saying that, Uncle Mort.
Oh, that guy's
Leroy, that's enough. And you too, my dear. Finish your breakfast, both of you. I'm going downtown in a little while.
Look, here's his picture, Uncle Mort. You can see he's just perfect.
I don't want to look at him. Let me see that a minute. Where did this little gold frame come from, may I ask?
The frame? Oh, it came out of my room. I've got 112 pictures of Larry, and I always have one where I can see it no matter where I happen
You know what I mean, Marjorie? Whose picture was in this frame before this crooner came into your life?
Yeah, whose what?
You shut up. Well, your picture was in it, Uncle Mort.
I thought so.
But it was sort of lost in my dresser with those pictures of Larry all around it. I mean, he's so young and handsome, and, well, I thought your picture would get more attention and stand out better fastened on my mirror.
Oh? Well, fastened on your mirror, eh?
Yeah, on the back of it.
What? Now, see here, Marjorie. And for goodness sake, Marjorie, let's just be a little sensible about this thing, that's all.
Yes, Uncle Mort.
Use a little restraint. After all, he's just another singer, my dear. He's not Caruso, you know.
Caruso? Oh, Uncle Mort, really? I mean, can you picture one of those old-time tenors trying to get any real feeling into a rainy night in Rio, for instance?
Oh, for heaven's sake. If this Lake fellow ever tried to sing anything really good like, well, Road to Mandalay, he'd sound flatter than a tortilla.
Uncle Mort, just because you like the way you sing, I don't think you have any right to insult the
I
greatest.
didn't say anything about my singing. I happen to do the Road to Mandalay rather well. That has nothing to do with it. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. I just don't like to see you making a fool of yourself, Marjorie.
All right, don't worry. I'll put your picture back in the gold frame.
I didn't say that. Although it is ridiculous to have 100 pictures of the same fellow. When you start carrying pictures of a crooner around in your purse.
I wish you wouldn't use that word. It's so common.
Purse? What do you call it, a pocketbook?
Crooner, I mean.
Yes.
There are literally just hundreds of crooners on the air. There's only one Larry Lake.
That's more than enough.
Larry, lad. Honestly, when he sings, your heart just sort of rolls over inside. Aunt Leslie touched him, Uncle Mort. Actually touched him with her hand at a broadcast. She kept her hand wrapped up till her mother made her wash it. And if he ever touched me, I'd die. I'd just die.
I give up. I'm going to park the car here, my dear.
Thanks for the lift, Unky.
I'm going to the bank and the barber shop, and I'll be at Peavy's around noon if you want to ride home.
Okay, I've got to rush now, though. Larry's newest recording goes on sale today.
Recording?
Mm-hmm. He just made the Road to Mandalay.
What?
He swings the last chorus, and it's absolutely out of this world.
He is nothing sacred? Hello, Peavy.
Good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. Something I can do for you?
I need some shaving cream, Peavy.
The usual kind?
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid I just sold the last jar of that a while ago. I ought to have some more in a week or so, though.
What am I going to do for a week? Let my beard grow?
And lots of people do.
What else have you got that's good?
Well, I've got about all the popular brands, Mr. Gildersleeve. I guess they're all pretty good, or they wouldn't be popular brands.
All right. Give me whatever you use yourself. I don't care.
Well, I use an electric razor myself. I got it for Christmas, and I thought I ought to try it out.
Confound it, Peavy. Give me that jar there, the one on the end. Got enough on my mind without standing here trying to argue you into selling me something.
Oh, I'm always glad to sell anything to my customers, Mr. Gildersleeve, if they just tell me what they want. Oh, by the way, your niece was in here a while ago.
She was? By George, I'm a little worried about Marjorie Peavy. She's got a silly crush on one of those radio crooners. Bobby sock stuff. She doesn't know whether she's coming or going.
And she was going the last I saw her.
All she does is sit around and listen to his records all day. She doesn't study. She doesn't eat right. She keeps the whole house in an uproar.
I've read about cases like that, Mr. Gildersleeve. They say that when that young Sinatra fellow sings, girls fall right down in the aisle at the theater. You'd think if he affected them that way, they'd stay home.
That's just the point, Peavy. They don't stay home. They like that stuff. Doggone it, you don't know how well off you are, Peavy. You're lucky you haven't any children.
Well, now, I wouldn't say... yes, I guess at times I would say that.
Hello, Peavy. Hello, Gildy.
Good morning, Judge.
Hello, Horace. That'll be all, Peavy. Will you wrap it up?
Saw Marjorie down the street a while ago. She's a nice child, Gildy. Going to be a very pretty woman.
Well, I wish she'd start. Being a woman, I mean. Darn it, Judge, these kids seem to get younger all the time instead of older.
I wish I had that trouble.
Marjorie's gone Bobby socks all at once over one of those darn crooners. Listens to his records from morning till night. She's got pictures of him all over the house. 120 of them or something.
I used to save pictures when I was a youngster. I had quite a few of Lillian Russell at one time. Mrs. Peavy gave them to the Salvation Army, as I recall.
Well, Marjorie's got the whole house upset.
The trouble with you is that you worry too much, Gildy. Children Marjorie's age are very susceptible to infatuations of that sort. It's a perfectly normal reaction.
What do you know about children, Hooker?
Well, I spent a good many years with children and their problems on the juvenile bench, Gildy, as you well know. After all, I was barely 30 years old when I went into juvenile court.
What were you, the youngest judge or the oldest defendant?
You know my record, and my advice to you is to stop trying to live the children's lives for them. Let them alone. Marjorie will probably forget all about this crooner in a week.
I'm ready to forget him right now.
Best thing you can do. You going to the symphony concert tonight, by the way?
Symphony?
Yes. Don't you read the papers, Gildy? The Toledo Civic Orchestra is at the auditorium. Some new conductor's supposed to be very good.
I've got troubles enough. I'm going home.
Oh, before you go, Mr. Gildersleeve, your niece left this note for you.
Uh-huh.
I suppose you'll want to read it or take it with you.
Note? Of course I want to read it, Peavy. You didn't tell me Marjorie left a note for me.
Well, you didn't ask me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, very good.
She said she was waiting in the car for you, but she had to leave, so she wrote this note. I gave her the paper, compliments of the pharmacy.
Yeah, very white of you, Peavy. Now, let me read it, will you, please? Dear Uncle Mort, Larry Lake was on a record program, so I listened in the car. You'd better do something about your battery. It ran down right in the middle of the program, and
Many of you food shoppers have, I'll bet, noticed a recent big change in your dealer's dairy department.
Yes, Kraft American is back. Yes, Kraft American is back, and it's wonderful. So much better than substitute kinds.
That's right. Now you can get genuine Kraft American pasteurized processed cheese. The cheese with the medium mellow cheddar flavor. The cheese that always toasts and melts to perfection. And I can tell you that the folks at Kraft are pretty tickled now that enough cheddars have had time to age so they can get that mellow flavor you've been missing so long.
And the cooking quality we want, too. Why, I'm buying Kraft American in the 2-pound loaf.
Well, whether you prefer the half-pound package, the 2-pound loaf, or cuts or slices from a 5-pound loaf, look at the label or wrapper and make sure it's plainly marked Kraft American.
Yes, that's important. Get Kraft American.
You can now, tomorrow. Dependable, genuine Kraft American is back. And now back to the great Gildersleeve. For at least once in his life, he's in need of some expert advice on child psychology. So, as always, he turns to his friend, Eve Goodwin.
You look beautiful, Eve.
I thought you said you had a problem, Throckmorton. What is it?
Huh? Oh, that. Well, it's about Marjorie.
Marjorie?
Yeah, she's gone completely off her beam for some confounded crooner, Eve.
Oh, is that all? I wouldn't worry about
You don't
that.
know what goes on around there, Eve. She plays his records over and over all day long. Larry Lake. Larry Lake's beautiful voice. Larry, lad, isn't he wonderful? Marjorie even took my picture out of a little gold frame I gave her and put his picture in it.
Poor Throckmorton. Is your vanity hurt a little?
And my eardrums, too. If I hear any more of his blatting, I'm going to forbid her to play another record while I'm in the hospital.
Oh, no, Throckmorton, no. That's where you make your biggest mistake. You must do it gently. Gently.
Huh?
Oh, how many times have I told you, we who handle children in this difficult adolescent stage must do it with a soft touch.
It's no soft touch getting these kids of mine to do anything.
You must guide the child, Throckmorton. Never push her. That age, their feelings are pretty easily hurt. Bruised feelings often lead the child to a defense mechanism of stubbornness.
Yeah, but gee whiz, Eve, I've got some feelings, too, haven't I? I have about you, Eve.
This infatuation with this Crooner, it's a very normal thing, you know. It's just part of growing up. Part of the transition from girlhood to womanhood.
I bet you never acted like that. I bet you never sat with your head in the Victrola clear to the shoulders and played some silly record over and over. The very same record.
I don't know. I'm afraid I wasn't so pure. I remember a record of Nick Lucas that my father threatened. But about Marjorie, Throckmorton, you must be patient. Never forbid the child to play her favorite record.
Have you heard this Larry Lake character? Sounds like he's gargling. Here, let me play one of these records, just part of it.
No, don't bother. I've heard quite a few of the type lately. But to Marjorie, it's music, don't you see? Never tell her not to listen to music. Simply encourage her to listen to good music. The better sort of things.
Any sort of thing is better than this guy. Sings like he's got a nose and a ringer.
Marjorie is simply hungry for music. Give her a chance to satisfy that hunger with better music.
Oh?
Why don't you take her to the symphony, for instance? The Toledo Civic's in town tonight, you know.
Tonight?
Uh-huh. The symphony would be very good for you, too, Throckmorton.
Well, sure, I love good music myself. I could go to a symphony concert every night of the week. If you let me hold your hand through it, Eve.
Thank you, but I'll have to miss it. I presume that was an invitation.
Of course. Come on, let's...
I'm sorry. I have a teacher's meeting tonight. You take Marjorie, though. I'm sure it'll help her a lot. Charles Sutherland Braden's conducting. He's one of the composers who's doing so much lately to push American music to the front.
Oh, good. It ought to be up there in front, all right.
I'm sure if Marjorie hears enough really fine music, your little problem will soon end.
Oh?
And you'll get your picture back in the gold frame.
By George, I'll do it, Eve. I'll get the tickets on the way home.
Good.
If I can pry Marge away from that record player long enough to go to... By George, I'll get her away from it.
No. Gently, Throckmorton. Gently. Don't push the child. You can persuade her to go, but handle it deftly.
Oh, deftly. Yeah.
You know, you do have a very persuasive manner when you try.
I do, huh? Doesn't seem to work very well, though, with you, Eve.
No, it will with Marjorie. You see, Marjorie won't know your motives, but I know them pretty well, Throckmorton.
Oh, you do, don't you? Might have known Eve would know how to handle the situation. Give Marjorie some good music, and she'll... I hope she's home. Oh, brother, she's home. Well, hello, Marjorie, my dear.
Hello, Uncle Mort. Larry Lake. Listen to him take this.
Yeah, I've heard him. Holds his breath long, doesn't he? Not long enough. Well, that was very nice, though, my dear. I like to see you show interest in music. Good music, I mean.
Oh, he's so wonderful, Uncle Mort. Honestly, how perfect can you be?
Yeah. I brought you a new album, my dear.
Oh, Unky, how perfectly super. I've been wanting Larry's new album, but I didn't have enough money today
Oh,
to
this isn't anything like that, my dear. This is something special. Something really fine. Charles Sutherland Braden, the great American composer. It's called A Day in the Western Hemisphere. See there?
Oh, I never heard of it.
Oh, you will, my dear. He's becoming quite famous. I even got us some tickets for his concert this evening at the auditorium. Third row.
Oh, thanks, Uncle Mort, but I won't be able to go out tonight at all. Larry Ladd is on tonight.
That fellow's always on. Here, let's try one of these records, huh? They say this man Braden is sensational.
I'll play it after a while. I got my new record of Larry this morning, Unky. Wait till you hear it. Just imagine him doing Road to Mandalay. Oh, that's one of your favorites, isn't it? You love this.
I will not. Gently. Marjorie, about this concert this evening. I really think you'd enjoy it, my dear. This Braden is one of the really great modern musicians, they say.
Sounds pretty dull to me. Now listen, just this last part.
Well.
On that rocky road, on that disrupted road, on the jumpy road to Mandalay.
Oh, turn it off. Turn that confounded thing off, Marjorie.
What's the matter now, Uncle Mort?
Rocky, disrupted road to Mandalay.
I mean, people just don't go around turning off Larry Lake, after all.
This people do. You're going to the concert with me this evening.
Why don't you take Leroy?
Because I'm taking you.
But Larry is singing tonight on the craft program.
I don't care if he's singing in this living room and playing a nose flute at the same time. You're going to the symphony.
But
Hey, what's all the hollering?
You stay out of there.
Okay.
We leave here at 7:30 sharp, Marjorie. That's final. Hello, Mrs. Van Hartesveld. Well, these seats are very good, aren't they, my dear?
They're close.
Yeah, I wanted to get us the best. Look at this crowd, huh? Yeah, this is going to be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You comfortable, all right?
I guess so.
Care for some candy? Brought a box of chocolates just for the two of us. Opera chocolates, they're called. I suppose we can eat them at the symphony. Here, help yourself.
I'm not hungry.
Well, you will be. And see you at the program. Summerfield League for Culture proudly presents Charles Sutherland Braden, eminent composer and conductor. Oh, look, he's going to play the numbers from that album I brought you. Say, this will be wonderful.
What time is it?
Almost 8 o'clock. Time to start.
8 o'clock. Larry will be coming on in a minute.
Here comes the conductor. Yeah, let's see. A Day in the Western Hemisphere. First number is, oh yes, it's called Dawn. Birds. Ooh, that's lovely. Oh! What happened? Oh, that was quite a thing, wasn't it, Marjorie? Dawn, eh? Quite a daybreak there. Let's see. The next number is, oh, yes, Blaze of Noon. This should be a hot number. Very pretty. That was it. Well, wasn't it? Fella Braden really throws himself into his music, doesn't he? Marjorie, you asleep?
No, Uncle Mort, I'm all right.
Of course. How could she sleep with all this noise? This fella's stuff is pretty modern, of course, but, well, this is the last number. See, it's called Midnight. Probably going to blow up the auditorium. Cello. Lovely. I think I'll relax a little now. Oh, no! Oh! Well, my dear, that was quite an experience, wasn't it? You have to give that sort of thing a chance, of course. Like olives. Leave the car in the driveway tonight. I'm tired. Let's go in. Don't forget your purse.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know we were home.
You've been awfully quiet all the way home. Sleepy?
No. I've just been thinking, Uncle Mort.
Oh? Don't overdo it, my dear. You're still pretty young.
I'm not as young as I was, Uncle Mort. I've been thinking about that music tonight.
Yeah, that was...
It's so... Well, I mean, it has something to it, some meaning.
Yeah, if we just had an interpreter.
I've been comparing it with, well, other things.
Yeah, that's what Eve said. Well, it was different from that Larry Lake stuff, all right. It was even different from music.
Larry Lake, that crooner.
Huh?
Something happened to me tonight listening to that concert, Uncle Mort. I think I must have grown up just all at once. Larry Lake might be all right for children, little girls, but, well, after all, how juvenile can you be?
Yes, but this Braden fellow is a little modern.
He's wonderful. Such power. That midnight number, honestly. I mean, it just sort of made me all goose-pimply inside. I mean, my heart just rolled over and stopped.
Yes, well...
Where's that? Oh, here's the album. Charles Sutherland Braden. What a beautiful name. When he waves those handsome hands and this tremendous music comes out, I'm gone. But gone.
If I'd been close enough to the door, I'd have been gone, too. Of course, this fellow's stuff is nothing like that Lake sings.
Larry Lake. Ugh, he sounds like he's gargling.
But Marjorie...
Now, listen. Sutherland Braden. Oh, Uncle Mort, how sensational can you be?
Oh, for this! How mixed up can you be?
Let me just touch on the news that Velveeta is plentiful now. Velveeta, the smooth, melting cheese food with the rich yet mild cheddar flavor that children love. Because here's bigger news that millions will welcome back. Kraft American is back. Yes, Kraft American is back. It's in the stores right now, and you can get some tomorrow. Kraft American with the medium mellow cheddar cheese flavor you've hankered for. Kraft American for wonderful toasted sandwiches, smooth cheese sauce, good Welsh rabbits. When you buy from a 5-pound loaf, slices from it, or a portion, ask to see the Kraft name on the wrapper. Or get the 2-pound loaf or several half-pound packages. You can wave farewell to substitutes. Here's what you've wanted for so long. Genuine Kraft American is back. Yes, your dependable old favorite Kraft American is back. The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry.
Right.
The music is by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley as Leroy, Louise Erickson as Marjorie, and Lillian Randolph as Bertie. Earl Ross is Judge Hooker, Dick LeGrand plays Mr. Peavy, and Ken Carson played the crooner. Stay tuned in now for Duffy's Tavern, which follows over most of these stations. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
That's right. Good night.
Be sure to add it to your shopping list tomorrow. The wonderful Kraft product called Frizz. Frizz makes delicious ice cream right in your refrigerator. Velvety, smooth, rich ice cream with plenty of cream and milk in it. Just add water, a little sugar, and freeze according to directions. You get 6 generous servings from one package. It's easy to make any flavor you like with Frizz. Because Frizz is made by an exclusive process that retains the fresh cream flavor, and because it freezes smoothly, Frizz ice cream is simply delicious. Frizz, F-R-I-Z-Z.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of a complete line of famous quality food products. We get a lot of requests to repeat shows. From time to time, we try to comply. Tonight, at the request of the Boys Clubs of America, we are repeating one which seems to have found favor with many of our listeners. There's trouble afoot in Summerfield. Potential trouble, anyway. Two small boys are wandering down Lakeside Avenue with nothing to do. The one kicking the tin can is Gildersleeve's nephew, Leroy. The other is little Craig Bullard.
Hey, Leroy, wait up!
It's been a restless afternoon. They've already been thrown out of the 5 and 10, where they were doing a little window shopping and testing, and Peavy's Pharmacy, where they rearranged the magazine rack. Now it looks as if they'd reached a dead end. But suddenly, Leroy's eye lights up.
Hey, look, a new house. Yeah. The workmen are all gone. Yeah, they're all gone. Come on, Craigie. Last one up's a rotten egg. No fair, you got a head start. Well, okay, we don't have to race. Hey, a whole barrel of nails. Yeah, gee, a whole barrel. No use swiping them now. Wait till we come down. Here's a ladder. Gosh, it's springy. Don't step on my fingers. Well, don't stick so close behind me. I'm way back here. Hurry up. Hey, here's a piece of cable. Boy, cable's hard to get. Yeah, cable's scarce. What is it? What is it? Boy, are you dumb. Look. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, there's a whole bundle of shingles. Yeah, we'll get some after. Hey, what do you know? Here's the bathroom. Yep. Gee, that tub is dirty. Maybe it's secondhand. Come on, let's go up on the roof. Yeah, the roof. Can I go first? Nah, you better let me, in case of... Well, I better go first. Okay. Boy, this will take us right to the ridge pole. Where's that? That's the top. That's as high as you can go. Gee. Hey, you can see the whole town from up here. Wait a minute, I want to see it. Well, come on. Yeah, you can. See the whole town. Yeah, there's school. And there's our house. There's our house. Yeah, right across the street from our house. Hey, look, a Selby's ice truck. Don't it look small? Yeah, like a toy truck. Hey, there goes your uncle. Where? They're walking along Lakeside. I can tell because he toes out. Hey, Mr. Gildersleeve! Shut up. We don't want him to see us. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. That's okay. He didn't hear you. I guess he's going home.
Whoever that is, Bertie, I'm not here.
Yes, sir, I'll tell him. Mr. Gildersleeve's residence. I'm sorry, sir, he's not home. The police station?
What?
Hold on, please. Mr. Gildersleeve, Leroy, and Craig Bullard are down at the police station. Man says they stole some lumber.
What?
You want to talk to the man?
No, just tell him I'll be right down. Arrested. Oh, darn those kids. Well, I hope you're properly ashamed of yourself, Leroy. And I'm sorry to see you mixed up in this, Craig.
I didn't do anything. Leroy did it. You did, too.
No. Let's have the facts.
Are they going to put us in jail?
No, nothing like that.
I want to go home.
We'll go home as soon as I talk to the... who was it that called me? That fellow behind the desk?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tackle him in a minute. But I have to know exactly what happened first. That means the truth, Leroy.
Okay. We were just playing around the house. All we did was pick up a couple of old boards we thought nobody would want.
You mean new boards? I want the truth, Leroy.
This is it. We didn't think anybody would mind just a couple of boards, so we were taking them home in a cop sauce and brought us here. I want to go home.
Just a minute, Craig. Is that all? Absolutely all?
Sure, that's all we took, wasn't it, Craig? I didn't take any. What about the nails?
Nails?
Craig's got a whole pocket full of them.
Well, walk easy so you won't jingle. Now come with me, both of you. Are you in charge here, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Are you this boy's guardian?
Yes, the one that needs a haircut. It just so happens, Sergeant, that the chief of police is a close personal friend of mine, so if you don't mind, I'll just take this thing up with him.
You mean you want to see the chief?
I do.
Now?
That is correct. And if you're interested in keeping your job...
I'm interested, and I'm not worried about it. The chief's out of town, drove over to Salinas this afternoon for a visit with his mother.
Oh, he did. Every time there's anything popping in this town, the chief is someplace else. Well, now look here, Sergeant. Have a cigar.
I don't use tobacco, thanks.
Oh, admirable, yes. Well, now tell me, Sergeant, just as man to man, don't you think it's ridiculous arresting these boys just for picking up a couple of sticks of wood?
The report says they were walking off with 3 planks of number 2 Douglas fir.
What's the difference to a boy? They're just pieces of wood.
That's all I thought they were. I'm just a couple of old...
I'm handling this, Leroy. You're in a very serious predicament. Let me do the talking. I suppose this is only petty larceny, isn't it, Sergeant?
What do you mean, only petty larceny? In this state, you can get a year in jail for petty larceny.
Oh, did he say jail?
He's not talking about you, Leroy.
I want to go home.
Craig, for goodness sake.
I told him not to take it.
You be quiet or I'll tell him about the nails. Sergeant, I'm sure the chief will straighten this out when he gets back.
Well, that may be. All I know is these boys are booked. They'll have to appear in court on Monday morning.
Oh, do we have to go to jail till Monday?
No, I'm sure.
I want to go home.
Quiet! I'll take you home in a minute.
Shut up! This is the police station.
Will you release these boys in my custody, Sergeant?
I'll be glad to.
Stop crying, Craig, or I'll leave you in jail. Phew. Now, come on.
No, as I say, Gildy, there's nothing I can do but let the law take its course.
Call yourself a lawyer.
I'm not only a lawyer, but a judge. My oath pledges me to uphold the law, whereas you're trying to get me to circumvent it.
Oh, you make me tired. Confound Leroy. I don't know what to do with him. Got half a mind to send him to military school.
What the dickens for?
Because he's getting out of hand. Because he won't pay any attention to anything I say. This is the way juvenile delinquency starts for us.
Oh, nonsense. Sending him to military school would be simply crawling out of your own responsibilities.
It would not. Military school would be the making of that boy. Teach him to sit up straight, toe the mark.
Well, he's your nephew, but I'm against it.
What would you do?
Have you tried reason, Throckmorton?
Reason with Leroy? Don't make me laugh.
I mean adult reason. I've watched you try to reason with Leroy, and you treat him like a child.
Leroy happens to be a child, Judge, and a pretty childish one at that.
Makes no difference. Treat him as an adult, and he'll respond in an adult way.
You really think so? Well, as a lawyer, you're a total loss. Why I should take your advice on child psychology, goodness only knows.
Well, there's one thing about it, Gildy. It's free.
I'll take it. Leroy, sit down here a minute.
What for?
I want to talk to you. As man to man.
Yeah?
Sit down.
Okay.
Not way over there. Come closer.
Closer?
Yes, bring the chair over here.
Okay.
Now, as man to man, Leroy, you realize you've been a bad boy today.
Yeah, I guess so.
I want you to think about it a little. I want you to think about what kind of man you'll turn out to be. I want you to... Leroy, what are you counting, if I may ask?
The squares in the carpet.
Well, stop it. Stop looking at that carpet. Look me in the eye.
Okay.
Leroy, I'm going to treat you like a grown-up. You've committed a serious offense. And I want to ask you a serious question.
What?
What do you think your punishment should be?
Me?
Yes, you. I'm putting the decision up to you. You've committed a crime, my boy. You've broken the state law. You've broken one of the 10 Commandments. Number 8, I believe. What kind of punishment do you think would be fair and just?
No dessert for a week?
I give up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with you, young man. I'm going to send you to military school. Yes, sir, military school. You'll wear a uniform all day, and you'll keep it neat and clean, and you'll learn to salute and march and say, sir. Now, what do you think of that?
I think I'll like it.
Then you can't go. Now, you get upstairs and go to bed.
No supper?
Well, no dessert. By George, we're going to have some discipline around here.
Here's good news for you food shoppers who have had to take substitutes for your favorite brand of cheese. Kraft American is back.
That is good news. Just the other day, my husband said he's been hankering for some real Kraft American. He likes its mellow cheddar flavor.
Good news for me, too. I love to cook with cheese, but when I do, I want Kraft American. It always toasts and melts to perfection.
Well, ladies, now you can get all the genuine Kraft American pasteurized processed cheese you want.
My family is so fond of Kraft American. Say, do they have it in a 2-pound loaf?
They certainly do have the 2-pound loaf. Now that enough cheddars have had the time to age properly, Kraft American is available in that size and the handy half-pound packages. Or, if you prefer, you can get cuts or slices from the big 5-pound loaf. It's all the same high quality. Just be sure the label or wrapper is plainly marked Kraft American. Now back to the great Gildersleeve, who is once again where he so often finds himself, at his wit's end. Baffled and discouraged by the problem of how to bring up a young nephew, he has decided to shove it aside for the moment and seek diversion among his friends at the Jolly Boys Club. And so he sets out, a heavy-hearted jolly boy, glumly in search of an evening of fun.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Greetings, Peavy. You going to the Jolly Boys?
Well, yes, I thought I would for a little while.
Well, I'll walk down with you.
Oh, that's real nice of you. I'm glad to have your company. You don't mind if I close up shop here first? It won't take but a minute. Sit down.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead. Peavy, don't ever have any children.
Beg pardon?
I say, whatever you do, don't have any children.
I wasn't thinking of having any.
Well, don't. They'll drive you crazy.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I say they'll drive you crazy.
That's so. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
Peavy, I'm trying to talk to you about children.
Go ahead. I'm listening. 10, 20, 30, 40.
No, you're not. You're counting.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to close up here. 55, 60. That's $1.15. I never get rich that way. Now, what was it about children, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, let it go.
You seem to be a little out of sorts this evening somehow.
Well, who wouldn't be? Leroy's gone and got himself in jail.
Leroy?
Well, not in jail exactly. He got himself arrested.
Leroy got...
Well, not arrested exactly. I had to go down to the police station and bail him out.
You had to...
Well, not bail him out. They released him in my custody.
You sure it was Leroy?
What?
Only joking, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, that's nothing to joke about. You don't know what worry is, Peavy. You've never had any children.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I never worry. After all, I'm a married man. Wife's a blessing, of course, in many ways, but she's also a responsibility.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about your wife going out and swiping lumber.
That's what Leroy's been up to?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I always say boys will be boys.
I know you do, and I wish you'd think up something different to say. Oh, come on, Peavy. Let's get out of here.
Commissioner, let's hear that fruity baritone of yours.
Yeah, come on, Gildy.
Some other time, fellas. I'm not in the mood right now.
What's the matter, Commish? You don't seem like your old foolish self tonight.
Is the chief of police going to be here, Floyd? I've been trying to get a hold of him all day.
Chief's out of town visiting his mother. At least that's his story. Why?
Nothing.
Gildersleeve's nephew has had a little run-in with the police.
Leroy?
Well, he's been helping himself to wood from a new house, if you must know.
Baloney. A couple of little boards? Who hasn't swiped a couple of little boards when he was a kid? Well, I'll bet every one of us sitting here in this room has lugged off more lumber than Leroy ever saw, including Peavy.
Well, now, come to think of it.
Why, sure. A new house goes up, kids just naturally got to play on it. You know that yourself, Commissioner.
Well, I guess it is pretty tempting.
Sure.
But playing is one thing, Floyd. Stealing is something else.
Stealing? Well, who's stealing? So a couple of boards are laying around. The kid sees other people building things, and he wants to build something. Monkey see, monkey do, that's all.
Floyd is right. It's just as he says. The creative impulse in youth needs an outlet, that's all.
Did I say that?
If the community provided proper facilities for play, these little peccadillos wouldn't occur.
That's right. I'm for kids.
You know, Horace, you've got me thinking maybe I was wrong for once.
That, I would say, is a major achievement.
After all, Leroy only wanted the board so he could build himself a clubhouse.
Leroy is a good kid. I'm for Leroy.
After all, a clubhouse. Has there ever been a kid who didn't want a clubhouse?
That's right.
Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, Penrod, all of them. The first thing they want is a clubhouse. A place they can call their own.
I'm for kids. Kids are better than people.
Yeah, well...
They're your only real friends, kids are. You know that? Kid'll never knife you in the back, which I wish I could say of some other people, mentioning no names.
That's true, Floyd, but why...
I ought to know. I cut their hair every day. I see all kinds. The only thing I got against kids, they won't sit still. But at least they ain't crabs and sourpusses. I hate a sourpuss. It's like I told my wife. When I come home nights after a hard day's work, I like a little cheery atmosphere around the place. Not this and that, but I'm for kids.
I think that we can safely say that we're all in favor of children, Floyd.
Well, count me in.
What we're discussing at the moment is Leroy.
Leroy's okay. He's a good kid.
Granted.
I was a kid once myself.
You were not alone in that either.
Ahoy up there.
Fellas, it's the chief. He's back.
Ahoy yourself. Come on up.
Now, stick with me, fellas. We got to make him see this thing my way.
He'll see it your way. The chief's a good kid. I'm for kids. Hiya, Chief.
Well, here's a pretty sight. If I didn't know you all, I'd swear it was the Dillinger gang.
Evening, Chief. How did you find your mother?
Oh, she's swell, Judge, just swell. She's getting on now, but I kid her along. I tell her she doesn't look a day over 60. Well, Peavy, how's drugs and sundries?
Oh, I can't complain. I don't know why I say that. Business is terrible.
Well, keep plugging.
Chief.
Commissioner, I didn't see you standing there under the moose.
I wonder if I could have a word with you, Chief.
You bet. And what's this I hear from my desk sergeant about your nephew being picked up for...
That's what I want to talk to you about.
No use you two getting so confidential over there. We know all about it. Now, look, Chief, Leroy's a good kid. Why don't you just forget the whole business?
Well, it's not so easy.
What's so hard about it?
Well, the fellow that's building the house is Honrath.
Honrath? He's a louse.
Well, sure, he's kind of a louse, but he's got influence, and he claims the kids are swiping his lumber so fast he can't get his house built.
But, Chief, a few crummy little boards.
I know, it's a petty crime if there ever was one. But unfortunately, it's on the blotter now. If it hadn't got on the blotter...
Well, if you'd been on the job, it wouldn't have got on the blotter. Why weren't you out catching crooks instead of gallivanting around the country?
My sergeant takes care of that, and it seems he caught a couple.
Oh!
Gentlemen, really, is this necessary?
Yes, it is.
Well, if it's necessary.
Yep.
Hey, Chief, let me ask you a simple question, and you can answer it or not as you see fit, but you're a bum if you don't.
What's the question, Floyd?
Were you ever a kid, Chief, or were you born a cop?
Of course I was a kid. I've got pictures of when I was a kid. Or my mom has. I was going through the album with her only yesterday.
And don't you remember what it was like to be a kid, Chief? Didn't you ever play hooky from school?
Why, guess so.
Didn't you ever roast Mickeys in a fire?
Oh, sure.
Didn't you ever go swimming in the old swimming hole?
You too, Judge?
Think of it, Chief. Your childhood. Blessings on thee, little man. Barefoot boy with cheeks of tan. They were the happiest days of your life, weren't they?
The golden days of childhood.
Fellas, I didn't want to do this. I was out of town at the time. But don't you see, there it is on the books. Fellas, don't look at me like that.
Well, I guess the chief just hates kids, that's all.
That's a hard thing to say of any man, Floyd, but I'm afraid you're right.
Fellas.
Quality of mercy is not strained. It falleth as the gentle rain from heaven.
You said it, Judge. What's the use of being good to your mother if you hate kids?
I don't hate kids. Why, I just bought $2 worth of Easter seals to help the crippled kids. I'm as fond of kids as anybody. Even Leroy.
Well, here's your chance to prove it.
But my duty, I took an oath. The boy was formally booked. It's there on the blotter in black and white. Caught stealing lumber. It's up to the owner now. If he wants to prefer charges, my hands are tied.
Well, let it go.
Yeah, Floyd.
If he can't, he can't, that's all.
Thanks, Floyd. I'm glad somebody understands.
Chief, do you know what day this is?
What day?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes to midnight. 10 minutes to St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I happen to have a bit of Irish in me, myself.
Irish, is it? If there's Irish in a Munson, sure there's twice as much in a Gates.
Well, be that as it may, and let's not be breaking any heads over the matter. I'd hate to have the good Saints' Day come in without a song to greet it. Shake hands with your Uncle Mike, me boy. Shake hands with your sister Kate. Well, come on.
If you're going to sing an Irish song, Floyd, give us one with a little heart in it.
Commissioner, I thought you were a Dutchman.
Huh?
How about you, Judge?
There's a bit of Irish Terrier in him, too, Floyd. The rest is goat. Come over here, Horace. You can sing if you'll sing softly.
I sing loud or not at all.
Yeah.
Well, that leaves only the Peeve. I guess Peavy's the only one who hasn't got any Irish in him.
Well, no, I wouldn't be saying that.
Him, too. What a pack of liars. Come on, Peavy. Peavy only sings one note, but it's a pip.
Peavy sings a note that can be heard only by dogs.
Yeah. Well, come on, fellas. A little bit of, you know.
Should a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day and nestled in the ocean in a spot so far away,
and when the angels saw it, sure it looked so sweet and fair,
they said, suppose we leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. So they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go.
Then they dotted it with silver just to make its lake so grand.
And when they had it finished shore, they called it Ireland.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful?
Why, Chief?
I know. It always takes me this way. Reminds me of my mother and me, a little one under her knee. Well, I'm not ashamed of it. Honest sentiment is nothing to be ashamed of.
You're right, Chief. I'll tell you something else. St. Patrick's Day is hardly the time for a jolly boy to be jailing a nephew of a fellow member.
Floyd's got something there, Chief.
How about it?
By Seamus, he's right.
Oh, no, wait a minute, fellas. I wouldn't want to interfere in any way with the Chief's conception of his duty. Duty comes first.
No, Commissioner, my duty's clear to me now. I'll have a talk with Honrath and see if I can't get him to withdraw the charge.
You think he might?
He'll either withdraw it or I'll have the building inspector hang a complaint on him. picking on kids like that.
Thanks, Chief.
Folks, have you had a hankering for some of that good, medium, mellow cheese like we had before the war? Well, hanker no more. Kraft American is back. Kraft American for golden toasted cheese sandwiches. Kraft American for satin smooth cheese sauce. Kraft American for all kinds of wonderful cooked dishes. No longer do you have to be satisfied with a substitute. Insist on the genuine Kraft American. Whether you buy the half-pound package, the 2-pound loaf, or slices or cuts from the big 5-pound loaf, make sure it's plainly marked Kraft American. And here's more good news for you mothers. Velveeta is plentiful again. That delicious cheese food with the rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor that children like so well. Smooth melting Velveeta that makes such a grand cheese sauce. So when you buy Kraft American, get a package of Velveeta, too.
Leroy, what are you doing awake at this hour? It's after 1 o'clock.
I couldn't sleep. Don't be mad at me, Unc, please.
I'm not mad at you, my boy. But what's wrong?
I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry if I was bad today. I didn't mean to be, but I'm sorry if I was. And I thought up a punishment like you said.
Forget it, my boy. I know you didn't mean any harm.
Then what was all the fireworks about?
I'm going to tell you something, Leroy. It may be difficult to understand, but it's a fact. Grown-ups can sometimes make mistakes. Yes, even your own uncle. It's very confusing being a grown-up. Very confusing. I often wish I were a boy again like you. So make the most of the time when you're young, my boy. I want you to do nothing but have fun and have a good time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but will you?
Well, I'll try. I'll go to sleep. I haven't done this in a long time, Leroy. But do you mind if I kiss you goodnight?
No, go ahead.
Good night, my boy. God bless you.
Good night, Unc.
Oh, and Leroy.
Yes?
Don't forget to take the ashes out in the morning.
He's okay. Boy, I was worried about him there for a minute.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The music is by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Stay tuned in now for Duffy's Tavern, which follows over most of these stations. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Good night, John. Good night, everybody.
Here's happy news for homemakers. Now you can make real, rich, velvety smooth ice cream in your refrigerator. Just get the new Kraft product called Frizz, F-R-I-Z-Z. One package makes 6 generous servings of ice cream, and very economically. You simply add water, a little sugar, and freeze according to directions on the package. Add fruit juices or flavoring for variety. Frizz contains plenty of fine cream and milk, made by a process that retains marvelous freshness of flavor. Get Frizz from your food dealer tomorrow. Surprise the family with homemade ice cream tomorrow night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve.
Yeah.
It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of a complete line of famous quality food products. It's the middle of the afternoon, not even 3 o'clock yet, but Gildersleeve has locked up the water department for the day. He has to get to the bank before it closes, and he's told himself it would hardly be worth returning after that. In one hand, he carries a small canvas bag, well stuffed and gathered at the top with a drawstring. On his way down State Street, he chances to pass Peavy's pharmacy. He stops, hefts the canvas bag, and steps into the shop.
Peavy, my friend?
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy? I'll bet you can't guess what's in that bag.
What's in the bag?
Yeah. Go on and guess.
Oh, excuse me, I'll just see what this gentleman wants first. Was there something you were looking for, sir?
No, just looking around. I'm waiting for a bus.
Oh, well, always glad to have people look around. Now, Mr. Gildersleeve, what can I do?
Go ahead. Guess what's in the bag, Peavy.
What's in the bag?
Yes.
It sounds like money.
Correct. And how much money? Guess.
I wouldn't want to say.
Go ahead, make a guess.
$50?
Ha! My friend, right there in that little bag, there's no less than $2,200 in cash.
Good gracious, you bet.
Yes, sir. $2,200. More money than you've ever seen, either. Would you like to see a $20 bill?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I wouldn't talk so loud if I were you.
Why not?
Oh, that man over there at the magazine rack. Do you know him?
Never seen him before in my life.
Neither have I.
What of it?
Well, I never feel easy with large sums of money around. Now, for instance, if he should happen to be it. Well, there he goes.
Must have seen his bus coming.
Or heard us talking about him.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not a suspicious man, Mr. Gildersleeve, but there are very few people in this town that I don't know by sight. And the way he bolted out of here...
Could have been his bus coming.
Could have been.
Why did I have to go and shoot off my big mouth? Oh, you're being ridiculous, Peavy.
Cautious, maybe. As a matter of fact, I make it a point to never have more than $5 on the premises here at any time.
I don't see what you're worried about here. You've got a safe.
Oh, I never keep money in the safe.
Well, why not?
Well, first place a burglar would look.
Well, I never thought of that. Well, where do you keep it? Peavy, you trust me, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I trust you. Here I come in here with all this money.
Let me ask you something. How do you happen to be carrying all this money?
Well, it's Bessie's fault. That's my secretary. Or she was. Ever since she quit, things have been turning up. I looked in a desk drawer today, and there was 2 weeks' cash receipts. Never been deposited. A fine thing. If I could get Bessie back, I'd fire her.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, my advice to you would be to get that money right down to the bank.
That's what I'm on my way to do. Just stopped in here to, well, let you have a look at it.
Thank you. That's very considerate. But if I were you, I wouldn't stop to show it to anyone else. It's 2 minutes to 3 right now, and the bank closes.
2 minutes of? Are you sure, Peavy? Oh, my goodness, my watch must be... goodbye, Peavy. Oh, sorry, madam. I'll never make it. I'll never make it. Oh! Sorry, pal. One side, please. Oh, brother, is it still open? Locked. Let me in! Let me in! Hey! Darn banks, they're always closed when you want them. Hey! Banks, they take your money and then they won't let you in. Open up! Open up here! Hey! The guard sees me. Here he comes. Taking his sweet time about it, though. Come on, fatso. Well, open up. Don't stand there making faces at me. What's he shaking his head about? Let me in. I want to deposit some money. I don't want to look at your watch. I want to deposit some money. Hey, come back here. Fake cop grins and goes away. It's the way it always is. Come down here and they slam the door right in your face. Sorry. Call themselves a bank. They have a holiday every 5 minutes. Columbus Day, Hoover's birthday. Now, what do I do? I've got all this money here. Just have to take it home with me, I guess. By George, if anything happens to it, I'll sue him. I'll sue the pants off of him. Anybody home? No, just as well. Let's get rid of this right away, I guess. Hide it someplace. Where? Gee, I know. If I tuck it down the bottom here. Gee.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I didn't know you...
Bertie, don't ever do that.
Don't do what?
Don't ever sneak up on me like that.
I wasn't sneaking up on nobody. I didn't even know you was home. I just came in here...
All right. You startled me, that's all, Bertie. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Something wrong with the clock?
No, nothing wrong. I'm just taking a look, that's all.
You lose something?
No, I thought I heard a slight noise in there. Thought maybe a squirrel had built a nest or something. But it turns out that was not the case. No, the clock's all right.
Well, it ain't going. You better let me...
Bertie!
Yes, sir?
If the clock needs fixing, Bertie, I'll fix it.
Well, it's up to you. The pendulum stopped, that's all.
I know. That pendulum hit me in the ear. It's a very delicate clock, Bertie. It was made by an ancestor.
Did you tell Unc about that, and I'll tell him what you did.
Tell him what?
Oh, all right.
Quiet, Bertie. Here comes the children. Don't say anything about you know.
About what?
About anything. Come away from the clock.
I ain't gonna touch it.
Well, come away from it. Well, children.
Hello, Unky.
Hi.
What's this you're not going to tell your uncle? Leroy, huh?
Nothing, Unc.
Marjorie?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bertie,
Yes, sir?
if you're going upstairs, bring down my revolver, will you?
Are you kidding?
Well, it isn't loaded, Bertie, but never mind. I'll get it myself. You couldn't find the bullets anyway.
Revolver? What next?
What do you want your revolver for, Unc?
Yes, what for?
Nothing.
Uncle Mort, you can't say you just want a revolver for nothing.
It's just a precaution, that's all. Now, I don't want to alarm you children, but when you have large sums of money on hand, it's always safest to, well, you know the Army's motto, be prepared.
Well, how much money have you got, Uncle Mort?
Yeah, how much? Where did you get it? Did you win it?
There are other ways of getting money than winning it, Leroy.
Yeah? What?
Besides, this isn't my money. That's why it's such a responsibility.
How much is it, Unky?
A considerable sum.
Oh, come on, Unc. Tell us how much.
I'm not saying, but it's a considerable sum. Over $2,000. $2,200 to be exact.
Really?
And Craig is always blowing about how much dough his old man has. Oh, boy, you feel like
Leroy! You come right back here. I don't want you to say a word about this to anybody. You understand? Either of you. I don't want you to even mention the word money.
Why not?
Because somebody might try to break in here and steal it, you idiot.
Really, Leroy?
Oh, I didn't know. Gosh. Where is the money, Unc?
Never mind. I've hidden it.
Where?
In a safe place where nobody will find it.
Where?
Never mind. I'm not telling.
Is it in the clock?
Oh! How did you know?
Well, Unky, that's where you always hide everything.
That's the first place we look on Easter.
Oh, my goodness. I'll have to hide it somewhere else. Well, might as well get it out as long as every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows about it.
Can I look at it, Charlie? Can I hold it?
Get off of me, Leroy. Get out of the way.
Is that it, that little bag?
That's it, my dear.
Oh, he's kidding us.
I am not.
Open it up. Let us just peek, please.
Well, here. We'll put it on the table.
Gee.
I never saw so much.
That, my boy, is a $20 bill. Probably the only one you'll ever see. That's legal tender.
Who's the old geezer on it?
Don't they teach you any history at that school? That's Washington.
Under the picture it says Jackson.
Well, some have Washington and some have Jackson. Who's that?
The phone. I'll answer it. Hello? Judge? Yes, Uncle Mort's right here. Oh, and Judge, guess what he brought home with him?
Marjorie!
Huh?
Give me that telephone. I'll speak to you later, young lady.
But I didn't know
Hello,
that you...
Judge. What's on your mind? Poker tonight? Love to, sure. What time are the boys? No. Wait. I can't, Judge. I can't, that's all. I don't dare go out of the house. Never mind why I can't. See, why don't you get the Jolly Boys to come over here? Just as well play here as there. Sure. We'll do that. And Horace, when you come and ring the doorbell, give it 2 short rings and 2 long. That'll be the signal. Never mind. Just do as I say if you want to get in. No, young lady. What did I tell you?
Tell me about what?
About mentioning that money to people.
Well, I didn't think that you meant...
children don't seem to realize the seriousness of this situation. I want you to say nothing about it, you understand? Nothing.
But it was only Judge Hooker. Surely you don't think... I mean, the judge would never in the world...
That's what they said about Benedict Arnold.
Food buyers, here's a frank message for you from the Kraft Foods Company. A few weeks ago, we told you that your old favorite Kraft American is back. Well, we're making Kraft American in tremendous quantities, and we're trying to keep food stores supplied with it. But from all over the country, grocers report that so many people want this famous cheese that their stocks are sold out almost immediately. Of course, there are many reasons for this rush for Kraft American. For the last few years, it has been practically off the market. And then, when we suddenly announced that we had Kraft American, millions of homemakers rushed to get a supply of their family's old favorite. They remembered its grand, medium mellow cheddar flavor, its wonderful cooking qualities. They remembered those good cheese dishes made with Kraft American, and those swell snacks and sandwiches. Is it any wonder, then, that your grocer might have been out of Kraft American when you wanted it? He'll have another supply in a day or two. So keep on the watch for genuine Kraft American every time you're in the food store. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. His friends have arrived and given the prearranged signal to his satisfaction. He has unchained, unbolted, and unlocked his front door and is welcoming his guests.
Come in quick, fellas.
What's going on here, anyway?
Wait.
What is all this, Commissioner? Expecting relatives?
No.
Good evening, Mr. You got a pistol?
For heaven's sake, Gildy, what's got into you?
Nothing. I'm just being careful, that's all. Where's the chief?
Had to go out of town. Cops convention.
By George. You can leave your coats in the hall here.
Thanks.
Let's go in the parlor, shall we?
I wish you'd put that cannon down, Commissioner. I ain't saying you don't know how to handle it, only I'm nervous, that's all.
I can handle it. Don't worry, Floyd. That's one thing I learned in World War I, if I didn't learn anything else.
Well, it seems to me you owe us an explanation, Gildy. Mysterious signals, doors bolted, waving a pistol.
I prefer not to give an explanation, Judge. I think you can take my assurance that I have reasons. I may say also that I'm darn glad to see you, fellas.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, has all this got anything to do
Peavy,
with...
whatever you're thinking, don't say it.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, don't. Have a chair, Judge. Make yourself comfortable, Floyd.
I'll try the sofa. Well, what are we going to play? Poker or cops and robbers?
I'm for poker. Only, Gildy, I think it might look more like a sociable game if you put that gun in your desk or someplace. Get it out of sight.
All right. You talk like somebody's grandmother.
Well, let's get going. How do you feel, Peeve? Lucky?
Well, poker's a game of skill, Floyd.
Ha! Let's get the chips around. I can't stay out all night.
Everything is on the table, fellas. I was going to... Did you hear something?
Hear what?
Well, I heard somebody out in the porch.
Yeah, just the wind, Mr. Gildersleeve. There's quite a breeze out this evening. It's March, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No ashtrays around, Commissioner. Fireplace okay for butts?
Oh, sure, Floyd.
Okay.
Floyd, for heaven's sake, you want to start a fire in there? Oh, I should think you'd have more sense.
What did I do? You just told me it was okay.
Well, if you must know, it just so happens I don't want $2,200 to go up and smoke, that's all.
$2,200? Funny place to keep it.
He's kidding. If he had $2,200, he'd be in Mexico.
You can count it if you want to. No, you don't. It's not my money. These are water department funds.
All the more reason to go to Mexico.
Huh?
What'd you do, sell a reservoir?
It's 2 weeks collections. I got to the bank too late to make the deposit, and I have reason to believe certain people know about it. There's been a lot of crime lately around here, fellas.
Oh, poppycock.
Hey, I got a great idea. Let's use the money instead of chips. Make it look like a big game, huh?
No. There'll be no tampering with department funds. I'll put the bag here on the mantel where I can keep an eye on it. I'll hide it again later.
All right, let's play poker. Divide up some of these chips, will you, Petey?
I'm counting the cards.
Let me have that chair, will you, Floyd? I'd like to keep an eye on the money.
I should think you'd rather keep an eye on the door.
Maybe you're right. Stay there.
Okay.
Now what? Deal me in, fellas. Hello? Hello? They hung up. That's funny.
What's funny about it? Wrong number, that's all. Some guy calling up a girl and he gets you. I'd hang up, too.
I don't like that phone call, fellas. If somebody knows the money's here, they'd naturally try to find out if I was home.
49, 50, 51, 52. Guess they're all here.
All right, for heaven's sake, let's play poker.
I'll never bet on a pair of eights again.
Well, it was a nice game. Nobody got hurt, and we all get home early.
I don't see why everybody is in such a hurry. Horace, why not stick around and play a little cribbage? It's early.
I've got to be in court in the morning, Gildy. Dispossess case.
Oh. Floyd? Peavy?
I stay out any later tonight, I'll never get out tomorrow night.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve, but you know my rule. Always in bed by 12.
Yes, I know your rule, but it's only 11.
Well, I have various things to attend to before I retire.
Well. Fine bunch of friends, I must say. Hey, I think there's some cold tongue in the icebox, fellas. Stick around, we'll eat.
What's the matter, Commissioner? Nervous?
Certainly not.
I wouldn't worry, Gildy. These crime waves in the papers are generally exaggerated. This my coat? Yeah, it is.
Wait a minute. Judge, you mean these robberies and holdups, there weren't any?
Well, no. There has been a certain amount of lawlessness, but the police have rounded up most of the bad element.
They didn't get those guys that stuck up old man Hogan, tied him up in the cellar and stole his drapes and silver.
Never caught him, you say?
Nope. They come around here, just give them the money, Commissioner. Don't try to be a hero. Come on, fellas, let's get going.
Well, good night, Mr. Gildersleeve, and thank you for a pleasant evening.
Yeah, good night, Peavy. Wait a minute, Floyd. I'll unlock the door.
Oh, come on. I can hear Lovey's foot tapping the floor already.
He's gone to get his gun.
He must think he's Edward G. Robinson. He's crazy.
Fellas, would you do me a favor? Leave quietly. There's no use advertising the fact that I'm all alone here.
Anything you say, Gildy.
We'll be little mice.
Well, good night, boys.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Oh, for the...
Hey, listen to him locking himself up.
Gildy likes to dramatize these little situations.
Say, how'd it be if we throw a rock at the window or something, huh? Worry him a little.
Oh, that's a cruel idea, Floyd.
I wouldn't hurt him. Just scratch on one of the shutters, maybe. What do you say, Steve? Just for laughs, huh?
Well, I wouldn't care to take part in it, Floyd. On the other hand...
Go on, you're both chicken. But wait here a minute, I'll do it. I'll get a stick and scratch on the parlor window.
As a rule, Peavy, I despise practical jokes. The funnier they are, the worse they are.
Floyd's poking into the window now. Old rascal.
Holy smokes, the guy's got no sense of humor at all.
I want the police department, operator. I don't know the number. It says in the book you don't have to know the number in an emergency. Well, this is an emergency. Darn chief of police. Every time there's there's a crime wave, he's out of town. Let's see. Where's the best place to be in case of it? If I drag the chair over here, I can command the door and all the windows. At the same time, my rear is protected. It's very important. There. Maybe hours before that cop gets here. Well, just have to stay on the alert till he arrives, that's all. Only 4 bullets left. Police department's a disgrace. I'll tell him so. I'll tell the chief personally. If he doesn't pay any attention, I'll tell the chief. Yeah. Tell the chief. What's that? Just the wind, I guess. What am I doing here? Help! Drop that gun! Drop that gun! Ribble-dibble.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Ranzo.
I don't know what to do, Leroy. He looks awful. If I wake him up, he'll be mad.
If you let him sleep, he'll be mad, too. Hey, Unc.
Zief, what's your fall?
It's 9:30. Can I have my allowance?
9:30? What day is it?
Saturday. Can I have my allowance?
Where is it? Where's that money?
The money bag's right there under your chair, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh.
You want some breakfast?
No time for breakfast. Gotta get this stuff to the bank as soon as it opens. If I... Foot's asleep, Bertie. Have you got a brown paper bag?
I guess so, Mr. Gildersleeve. What for?
I had an idea in the middle of the night. I'll put the money bag inside the brown paper bag so nobody will notice it.
I'll see if I got one.
Mouth tastes terrible.
Can I have my allowance, Unc?
For heaven's sake, Leroy, stop thinking about money. Money. That's all I hear around this house. I didn't sleep a wink all night trying to protect you children. Now you want money.
Oh, gosh.
Here's one ought to hold it, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, that ought to do it, Bertie. There. What time did you say it was?
About 9:30.
Oh, my watch has stopped. Guess I forgot to wind it. Well, I'll just catch the bus on the corner, and where's my hat?
Here. Are you coming back, Unc?
I'll be back for breakfast. What the... Oh.
When you come back, can we discuss this?
I'll see. Don't bother me about it.
Gosh, $2,200 and he can't spare 50 cents.
You'd think I'd know somebody on this bus. Not a soul. Nice morning, isn't it?
What?
I said, nice morning.
Oh.
This is my lunch in the bag.
That's so?
Yep. I don't usually take my lunch to the office, but today I thought I would. Such a nice day. I've got an orange in here and a roast beef sandwich. And some potato chips. And a piece of chocolate cake. Don't you believe me?
I believe you.
Guess you want to read your paper, huh?
If it's all right with you.
Oh, sure. Friendly. Try to be pleasant in what happens. He's not reading his paper. He's watching me out of the corner of his eye. Ugly fella across the aisle there, too. He's pretended not to look at me either. I wonder if they're in league. Probably Confederates. Scratching his nose must be a signal. It won't trap me. I'll wait till everybody's off, and then I'll make a break for it. Wish I'd brought my gun. I've got a permit. Ought to get one. I will. See the sheriff the first thing Monday. A lot of crime going on, no matter what Hooker says. The courts are always the last to get wind of these things. A lot of crime. In broad daylight, too. Post-war psychology. Keep cool, Gildersleeve. Don't move yet. They're not moving. Wait. Now. Out! Gangway! Hey! Let me out, folks. Hey! Oh, pardon me. Let me out. Guess I was too smart for him. Yes, sir. You have to get up pretty early in the morning to catch old... Hey! He's getting off, too. Hey! I made it. Oh, for goodness sake. Let me in! Let me in there! Hey, you! Don't grin at me. Open up. There's a man after me. Hey! Don't shoot.
Here. You forgot your lunch.
My lunch?
The other day, a food shopper told me that it's certainly good to find more Velveeta in the food stores again. This smooth melting cheese food with the rich yet mild cheddar flavor is so good for cheese sauce and sandwiches. And now during Lent, Velveeta is a double help with meals and snacks. And here's another piece of good news for you cheese lovers. Kraft American is back. Kraft American with the medium mellow cheddar flavor your family has been hankering for. Kraft American that cooks perfectly, that makes such wonderful snacks and sandwiches. Yes, America's favorite pasteurized processed cheese is back. If by chance your grocer doesn't have Kraft American tomorrow, it's because other cheese lovers got there ahead of you. But we're making a lot of Kraft American now, and your dealer will have more in a few days. So look for it. Keep on the watch for dependable Kraft American. The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The music is by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. Stay tuned in for Duffy's Tavern, which follows over most of these stations. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
I'm going out now to eat my lunch. Good night, folks.
When you want to give an extra flavor lift to your family's favorite dishes, that's the time to call on Kraft Prepared Mustards. They're such grand help in pepping up foods, we'd suggest that you get both popular kinds for a variety of menu uses. Tangy golden Kraft salad mustard for blending into cooked egg and cheese dishes, salad dressing, and barbecue sauces, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added for spreading on sandwich meats and for use in tasty sauces for fish. Buy both of these delicious Kraft mustards when you shop tomorrow.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.